Hello everyone, my name is April Comey and I am doing my presentation on the ketogenic diet and athletic performance. Okay, so what is the ketogenic diet? Basically, the ketogenic diet is a low-carb, high healthy fat diet mainly used by those who are looking to lose weight while still maintaining muscle mass. On the ketogenic diet, daily carb intake must stay below 30 grams in order to achieve ketosis. So, what is ketosis? Ketosis is a metabolic process of breaking down the body's fat stores as energy when there is not enough glucose available. In ketosis, fat is utilized for energy instead of carbohydrates, and it puts the body into a high fat burning state. The keto diet is high in fat, moderate in protein, and low in carbs. This makes you more full and satisfied in order to reduce hunger and cravings. Common foods on the keto diet include eggs, nuts, cheese, meats, oils, and other low-carb foods. Easy substitutions include ordering a burger with a lettuce wrap instead of a bun and swapping chips for something like pork rinds. Foods to avoid on the keto diet, as you can see in the image below, are bread, pasta, sugar, milk, corn, beans, and rice, and just any high-carb food in general. Alright, so why would athletes turn to the keto diet? Well, the first reason is to lose weight quickly for weight class division sports such as wrestling or boxing. Another reason is to lose weight in general while still maintaining muscle mass. Lastly, athletes might turn to the ketogenic diet to see if they can use the diet to enhance their performance, which is basically what this whole presentation is about and what we will learn later. Alright, so study number 1. This study is from an article from the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition. The study consisted of 9 male artistic gymnasts and it lasted for about a month, 30 days. Athletes kept their normal training schedule of 30 hours per week, and they were given a menu that had a list of foods consisting of permitted and not permitted foods for the ketogenic diet. Body measurements were taken before and after the experiment, and the goal of the experiment was to find out if the ketogenic diet really does enhance athletic performance. For this study on the male gymnasts, the diet consisted primarily of beef and veal, poultry, fish, raw and cooked green vegetables, eggs, and seasoned cheese. In addition to water, the athletes were allowed to drink tea and coffee, but they were not allowed to drink alcohol or milk, and they were not allowed to eat bread, pasta, rice, or yogurt. So the results of this first study concluded that the male gymnasts in the study had a decrease in body weight, fat mass, and also fat percentage. There was also an increase in lean body mass percentage. The article stated, and I quote, "Our data suggests that athletes who underwent a VLCKD, which means very low carbohydrate ketogenic diet, with adequate protein intake, lost weight, and improved body composition without any negative changes in strength and power performance. The dietetic approach in the short term could be helpful in sports that involve weight categories." So basically, the article and studies suggest that the keto diet is a good weight loss tool, but it does not enhance performance. At least it did not enhance the performance of those gymnasts that were included in the study. But it also did not have any negative changes, so basically it's saying that the performance remained constant for these athletes. And the article also once again states that the keto diet would be helpful in weight category sports so that the athlete can make a certain weight for their category. Alright, so now going on to study number 2. This study consisted of 5 recreational endurance athletes, and it lasted for 10 weeks. The athletes' diets were monitored weekly, and the athletes were asked to continue their normal training schedule. Each athlete in this study had their own schedule, so they were just supposed to keep their own schedule as opposed to a set schedule like the last gymnast had. So the last one, each gymnast was just used to 30 hours and they all stayed with that, but this one, everybody just stayed with their normal one since they were not all part of a team. And the participants were also asked to measure their blood ketone levels daily to make sure they were in ketosis. And at the bottom of the screen, you can see what a blood ketone meter looks like. All right, so the results of this second study concluded that all participants experienced weight and fat loss, which is constant with study number 1. The participants in this study also experienced tiredness and loss of power while on the diet, and all participants also increased their ability to use fat as a fuel source as opposed to carbohydrates. This study found that maximal aerobic performance was reduced for the participants, and according to the article that the study is in, that is also from the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition, and I quote, "The performance decrement in our study and others is likely due to changes in metabolic pathways that impair glycogen metabolism at higher exercise intensities." The article stated that in a separate study, so not this study number 2, but a completely separate study done by someone else, 2 individuals actually had enhanced performance following a ketogenic diet. So perhaps this is due to how these 2 individuals' bodies use fat as fuel. So to me, this indicates that performance on the keto diet is related to the participant themselves, and results vary from person to person. But instead of keto, the participants in the study did change their diet after the study to a lower carb diet by incorporating more carbs until they felt they were at their maximum performance level. Participants reported that they had enhanced recovery and other health benefits such as clear skin and reduced inflammation while they were on the keto diet. So even though they chose not to stick to keto after, they did modify their diet to have lower carbs because they enjoyed the health benefits that a lower carb diet gave them. So just a little overview on both studies. Both of them found that the keto diet causes weight and fat loss, so that was constant between the 2 studies. The participants in the first study found that the diet did not enhance nor weaken athletic performance, so their performance stayed constant. However, in the second study, the participants did experience a reduction in performance, but that article that the study was in also brought up the point that 2 athletes from a totally separate study did have improvement in athletic performance, indicating that the results are based on the individual themselves and varies from person to person. So one person following the keto diet could have weakened athletic performance. Another person could experience the same performance levels on the diet, and an entirely different person could actually have enhanced performance. So, in conclusion, I would say that more research needs to be done to establish the effects of the ketogenic diet on athletic performance. The first article found no enhancement in performance, the second article found a decrease in performance, and the second article also referenced another study in which participants did see improvement in athletic performance. Both articles concluded that the keto diet can be beneficial for weight loss. However, I would caution anyone who is following this diet or are considering following this diet to meet with a doctor or a dietitian. And I would also suggest athletes to try this diet out for themselves to see how it affects their individual performance, because I would argue that results can vary from person to person, seeing how the results varied in each study. And lastly, I would say that the keto diet is beneficial for those athletes who are in a weight class sport to help them make their weight, but I would say that the keto diet is not a sustainable long term diet. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed.